Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a crazy week on the internet, coming after many crazy weeks of Mr. Beast news. Today, we are here not to talk about a new dog pack video, not to talk about the Mr. Beast games. We're here to talk about Mr. Beast's new product that he is doing in conjunction with KSI and Logan Paul. It is called Lunchly, and it is, for lack of a better word, we're gonna describe it in the same way they describe it, a Lunchables competitor. In fact, if you ate Lunchables back when you were a kid like I did, you will notice that the Lunchables they have are the exact same things that you ate, right? It's like nachos with salsa and cheese, a little pizza that you make and then put in the microwave, and then the classic Lunchable, the one that everyone thinks of, a cracker, a slice of lunch meat, this is turkey, and then cheese. They are doing this because many influencers, specifically the influencers in this world as part of this program, have been doing it for a while and have been massively successful. We're talking about things like Prime, if you remember like the Prime shortage, when all the kids were selling them at school and selling them out or going up to Canada and shit. We're talking about things like Feastables that are doing really well, even if you do sometimes see bargain bins of Feastables or all the Feastables in Ludwig's warehouse that are melting. Because kids want to buy these products, so they're making a new product. It's called Lunchly. And I will say, I'm not as surprised as I should be, but I am a little surprised that people were fucking pissed. People were up in arms about Lunchly. They do not like that Lunchly is making these Lunchables. They do not like that Mr. Beast, KSI, and Logan Paul are doing it. And they do not like that they are marketing this product that is presumably unhealthy to kids. To kids. I want to start with these because otherwise it's going to piss me off and I'm going to be thinking about it the entire time. There's a lot of misinformation going around the internet. People are saying things that are burying the lead, things that are poisoning the well in real debate about these products. And that is things like they're giving kids energy drinks. There are two types of Prime. There is Prime Hydration and there is Prime Energy. Prime Energy is an energy drink. Prime Hydration is a sports drink or Gatorade competitor. In the Lunchly package, they are not giving Prime Energy. They are not trying to get these kids hyped up on caffeine, guarana, or anything like that. They are giving them what is essentially sugar-free Gatorade. Whether or not you think that is good or bad or fine or whatever, that is what it is. And they are comparing that when they talk about it to Capri Suns. And we're going to hear later, they think that the electrolytes in their Prime Hydration is real good. It's got what plants crave and it's got what kids crave. Number two, we're talking about there being fucking like metal in there all because of like this one tweet and Logan Paul saying, hey man, we've got no lead and no metal in here like Lunchables had. As far as we know, there is no lead in Lunchables. No lead in Lunchly. I'm conflating them because they're the same fucking product, right? To make this easy, to make this safe, to make this real, just believe me when I say that they are essentially the same fucking thing, all right? We've got a box of Lunchly that is this pizza. We got a box of Lunchables, right? There is not a secret energy drink in one. There is not like a little toy that Mr. B says is going to win you $1 million in one. This is a lunch that kids can buy, parents can buy for kids, and eat in the same way. Here's their announcement. Lunchly versus Lunchables. All statements are comparing the products depicted in the video at Lunchly. Also, are influencers getting more buff? I've noticed this trend of like influencers trying to get really super ripped, and maybe it's because they're rich, but I feel like I'm going to get beat up by the jocks in school, and that shouldn't happen with someone who like started as a Minecrafter.
Lunchly versus Lunchables.
With Lunchly, you get double the amount of liquid.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamins.
Crunch Bar.
Whoa.
Feastables Crunch
Yeah!
So we are meant to be comparing these. At a certain point, I'm like, it's just a product, guys. It doesn't matter. Marketing to kids, what are you talking about? Not talking about it besides Crunch Bar, boo, Feastables, yeah, is so funny. Especially after there's electrolytes and B vitamins and no sugar added. Presumably, they are saying that this drink is healthier and it would be better than a Lunchable. No sugar added, more electrolytes, more B vitamins. We have made a scientific claim and we are staking our reputations on it. Let's move on to number two, Crunch Bar. Fuck those guys. Feastables. I love Mr. Beast. They use real cheese versus cheese products. Now, I'll be honest with you. If you guys take a look at real cheese versus cheese product in the things you eat or the places you eat, you're going to notice a lot more cheese product, especially in America. It's not the weirdest thing in the world. Now, Does that mean we should be eating cheese product instead of real cheese? We probably shouldn't. Should we be eating as much real cheese as we eat in the world? We honestly probably shouldn't either. But I'm not here to tell you how to eat your cheese or cheese products. It's just another scientific claim that they are making. Theirs is real cheese, theirs has less fat in it.
Look at this close up. You can already tell which one has.
One thing that me and Cance were talking about this morning, because we recorded Binge and Cringe, is that if you look at these two sets of crackers, one of them is Lunchly, one of them is Lunchables. Which one do you think looks more appetizing? And I actually think there's a different answer based on how old you are. Chat, type top or bottom. And then I'm going to say, chat, sexually, which are you? And then it's going to edit and look like you guys all said top or bottom. And it's going to be very funny for me to hold above you in the future. I'm a top of video unrelated. Caught. Bottom for sure. Really? Wait, this is actually more well split than I thought it would be. There's a lot of people who think the bottom looks better. Am I a boomer? I think the bottom looks like dog shit. I feel like the top cheese looks real. I feel like the bottom cheese looks fake. This looks like a piece of rubber. It looks like play. Yeah, I think it does look like Play-Doh on bottom or like fake stuff. To me, I feel like this looks worse than this cheese. And my assumption is that, and we did not confirm this assumption, older people would think the top looks better and younger people would think the bottom. We'll have to go back to the fucking well here.
Has better ingredients. All right, we'll start off with the Lunchables.
Oh,
Bro,
don't spit it out. It's not that bad.
trash. All right, now we're trying.
I'm sorry, that's trash. Come on. Logan, you know that's not that bad.
Bro, I'm sorry, that's trash. All right, now we're
Going
trying
to the sink to spit it out is crazy.
Come on. We're not biased at all, but ours is way better.
Can he say we're not biased at all, by the way? Maybe he can legally have people assume that it is humor, but saying we're not biased at all when there's no one in the world that's maybe more biased.
Come in close and look at the queso cheese and Lunchly versus whatever that is. Drip versus stick. I like my cheese drippy, bruh. This is a Lunchly salsa right here. Look at the consistency, the texture. And this is Lunchables. Look, it's watery. I can't even look at that.
Do you guys notice a difference in the consistency? The cheese honestly looks foul in both, and I will give them the Lunchables cheese looks terrible. I've never thought about if I want my cheese drippy. As a kid who ate Lunchables a lot as a kid, and by a lot I mean probably like one a week, I will say that the salsa in Lunchables, I'm pretty sure is just like tomato sauce.
And it's available for around $4. Super affordable. Go give it a try.
Oh my God.
$4 for 310 calories. I'll let you guys decide if you want that. I will say maybe the most, as an adult looking at this, the thing that is much better than a Lunchable is comparing a Capri Sun to a Prime Energy and just the sheer amount of liquid. I never realized how little liquid was in a Capri Sun or the amount of Capri Sun head on that thing. $4 is kind of not bad. Yeah, $4 is not bad. But for 300 calories, I kind of want more calories. They are marketing it as if their lower calorie option is better. For me, for $4, I think I want a little more. 230 to 310. Like, I don't want a kid eating only 230 calories for lunch. Am I crazy? Kids need more calories than that when they're growing. I feel like kids should be eating 2 Lunchlys. Yeah, it shouldn't be the focus for kids, and low calorie should never be the focus for kids. Well, I mean, never say never, but I think like marketing something as like a low calorie, we want our kids sexy. We want sexy, trim kids everywhere. No, we want healthy kids. We want kids to get all the vitamins and nutrients they need. We want kids to have enough calories so they can grow, right? And shaming like a kid about how many calories are in their lunch is something that's crazy. It's just weird to me to do. And I would not want to give my kid a Lunchly and then think like, okay, they're going to be good till dinner, right? Or even good till snack time. But this is the product they have, and you might have noticed some of the claims they made. Theirs is real cheese. Theirs has way more electrolytes. Theirs has slightly more protein, although not in all of it. In fact, let's just go straight to the horse's mouth and see what their website has on us versus them. Wait, they changed their website. Cance! What the fuck? Cance, are you here? They changed their website since this morning. No! They changed it. Do you still have the video? Wait, you have the video. Send me your video. He found it. He found a high quality version. Thank you. This section of the website, which we screenshot, is no longer there. This was above this section, top of the class, and they have since removed it, which is crazy. I found it so funny that the way they market their product against leading brand, which we know is Lunchables, because right below it, they do compare it and call out Lunchables, was flavorful combos versus standard picks. That doesn't really mean anything. Bold packaging versus basic packaging. That also doesn't really mean anything. And then big gestures versus mid moments. Can you fucking tell me what the hell my lunch is doing with a big gesture? and why my Lunchable is a mid-moment? They're the same goddamn thing. The one nutritional thing they claim in their header at the top of this page earlier was that they have 400 milligrams of electrolytes versus 55 milligrams of electrolytes. And I'm going to say it. I'm not a food scientist, but from everything I have learned and from everything I've talked about electrolytes and the reason why like Gatorade works, you have to be pretty fucking depleted of electrolytes to where you need to replenish 400 milligrams. These kids, they're not running marathons out there. They might get a little hot at the playground, but I think they're going to be fine with 55 milligrams of electrolytes. In fact, they will probably be fine with the salt in their food, right? Or the potassium in their bananas and shit like that. Wait, you found it on the Wayback Machine? Yeah, damn, they actually changed this website this morning. That's so crazy. I wonder what they are most scared about. They're probably scared about how embarrassing it is that their marketing material just says it's more flavorful, subjective, bold packaging, who gives a shit, and big gestures, also who gives a shit. I couldn't be caught dead having a mid-moment with my Lunchable at school. If kids are getting bullied because they're not having Lunchleys and they're having Lunchables, that is actually the worst. On the electrolyte discussion, thank you. Here we go. Sodium getting rebranded as electrolytes will be taught in marketing textbooks one day. And then this says, the 400 milligrams of electrolytes in the chart appears incorrect. The 12-ounce Strawberry Banana Prime of the Fiesta Nachos and the 12-ounce Ice Pop Prime of the Turkey Stack'ems both have 500 milligrams of potassium, not 400. This does not even include the other electrolytes. So they're saying it has way more than 400. Now, Logan Paul did reply to this. I remember because I saw it and he was really, really mad. Crazy how even a sports medicine doctor can't tell the difference between sodium and potassium. The reference 400 milligrams of electrolytes is the potassium in Prime, you idiot. Did the guy reply to that? Oh, he did it. Another lie from community notes at Elon Musk, potassium 400 milligrams. But then why would Logan Paul talk about 400 milligrams of electrolytes when they have more than 400 milligrams of electrolytes? Yet another lie from community notes. The 12-ounce Prime in Lunchly is exclusive to Lunchly and has 400 milligrams of electrolytes. The contributors, who continue to lie because they don't like me, would know that if they did an ounce of research. The original note was making a statement on what's in mass market today and has no relevance. Free speech has become fake speech on X, and the system designed to regulate the truth is egregiously flawed. I don't actually know a lot about community notes. I do think it's funny when people get dunked on, but maybe there is a world where community notes are not good. Wait, did they get community noted on a community note? This isn't a lie from community notes. The commercially available 12-ounce, aka 355 milliliter Ice Pop Prime has 500 milligrams of potassium on its nutrition label. Oh, and he's saying that the one in Lunchly is exclusive and has less potassium. I am standing on the side of Brian Sutterer, MD, not just because he has MD in his display name, but because my understanding of electrolytes is the same. And it's that we are not depleting our electrolyte reserves enough to need that much. We are everyday human beings LARPing as professional athletes and Olympians. And there's nothing wrong with that. We can pretend like we need what plants crave in this Brondo, but at a certain level, especially children can just drink water. They can just drink something that's guaranteed going to rehydrate them. And if they need a little bit of electrolytes, they're going to eat food and they're going to get that nutrition. But not if they don't have enough of that nutrition in the calories in their food. All of this is happening at a time where Mr. Beast is, dare I say, going through it. Not only is he getting roasted for the Lunchleys, not only is Logan Paul and KSI getting roasted for Lunchleys, I would be remiss not to mention that he is being sued by contestants for the Beast Games for things like failing to pay minimum wages and overtime, failing to prevent sexual harassment on set, participants not being provided uninterrupted meal breaks and rest breaks. I will say Kance opened up the legal filing and we looked through it for 10 seconds and said, this is not for us. This is for real lawyers. Chat asked me before stream what I thought was going to happen. And even if it makes you sad, my presumption is this is something that is going to settle out of court. There will be an undisclosed payment made and we will not have to worry about it. But it's safe to say that with the stuff that is happening with Ava, with the stuff that is happening with Dogpack, with the stuff that's happening with Beast Games, with the stuff that's happening with Lunchly, I think Mr. Beast is going through a bad time. And that explains why someone like Mr. Beast would reply to someone like Drama Alert. It's so funny seeing Mr. Beast reply to things like this because he is actually just a normal capitalist businessman. I don't think his takes are egregious. I don't think they're weird, but he doesn't seem to speak from a place of understanding he is the largest content creator in the world. And it's always like, wait, if regular Joe did this, it'd be fine. And it's like, hey man, you're Mr. Beast. I'm sorry. Lunchables sell hundreds of millions of units and countless people eat it. Our goal is to give people a better for you alternative to it. Now remember this, better for you. Because if we go to their website, what they're giving people is a more flavorful, debatable, bold, and big version of it with electrolytes. We're not talking about the protein. We're not talking about anything else in there. We are just talking about it being colorful and big and not getting bullied at school for eating it. Our turkey meal, for example, is 80 less calories, 60% less sugar, more electrolytes. We use real cheese. They use cheese product. They can't call it cheese. Higher quality meat, etc. Obviously, eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthier, but if someone is going to eat a pre-made meal like this, which millions of people do through Lunchables, then I think giving them a higher quality version at roughly the same price is a net good, IMO, and why we launched Lunchly. I think it's debatable if that's why they launched Lunchly, giving them a higher quality version at roughly the same price. I would maybe be a little bit more inclined to side with them or hear out their points if they were like, hey man, there is a very specific like market space for us here. There's only one Lunchables, right? Kid cuisine is different because it's like microwavable. This is something that you don't need to heat up. And I think that we can both make a comparable product and sell it better because we're YouTubers. And so that's what we did to make money. I would be like, yeah, I fucking get it, man. Also, as we get economies of scale and can get things cheaper, we will only be improving the product more and more. Now, if any other company told me this, I would say, you're fucking lying. These people don't improve their products. They sell out, they get Red Robin to make their Beast Burger, they get low ratings, and then they pull it and we move on to the next product. But I will say that Feastables used to taste like dog vomit, and now Feastables taste really good. It would be crazy to not admit that Feastables made a bad product and then changed the ingredients and made a better product. So if there is anyone out here who has a leg to stand on like making a better product after getting feedback from people, it is Mr. Beast, and I'm going to put that one in his camp. I think he might improve the product more and more. People are continuing to roast him. People are saying like, this is ridiculous. This is, you're marketing to kids. And no one bigger has talked about it since I've seen than Dan TDM, who had a pretty, in my mind, and maybe I'm just like Mr. Safe and Mr. Simple, hardcore tweet about this. He said, what happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? And this is actually the part where you know what? Like, yeah, I agree. You could do both. You can make money and make a good product, as we talked about earlier, but not everyone is doing that. This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust people who are selling it to them. Do better. This got a lot of replies, and no one was more hardcore about this than friend of the show, someone we make a lot of videos about. You know him. You love him. Knowledge, strength, integrity. We're talking about KSI. Now, KSI, baby, I'm going to say it. KSI would do better for his fellow businessmen by not replying on things. I feel like I look at Logan Paul and I think, hey, maybe not the best replies, but he's doing his best to use like his truth or the truth about ingredients, them using the wrong labels to measure things, to argue with people on the internet. When I look at Mr. Beast, I say, hey, I may not believe that his goal is to give people a better alternative, but I do believe that he is being honest about like less calories, less sugar, real cheese, and that he might fix the product in the future. It's not perfect. It's not chicken and broccoli and water for kids, but it is an option out there in the market. KSI is the third man here who is absolutely brain dead, and I think making their arguments worse. I think KSI is making them look more foolish and ghoulish by fighting with a beloved YouTuber in Dan TDM and not even doing a good job about it. KSI gonna come after you next? I like KSI. I actually think he's so funny. I think a lot of his content is good. I think that if he was a partner with me on a thing we did and he was talking to people on the internet like this, I would fucking tell him to shut the hell up, man. What are you doing? His reply to what happened to YouTubers, man, was looks like crap to me for like a toy that Dan TDM launched for a YouTubes, which we've seen lots of people do, including KSI, for these glasses. two things every miner needs. I think that like phrasing on this could have been better when we look at what happened to the Minecraft community, but a lot of this stuff was put out a long time ago, you know, like, hey, we're not going to judge them for that. And then just like Logan Paul, KSI gets community noted, which is just so funny. Not only has KSI worked with them before, the CEO of U2's, Austin Long, got his start by managing the Sidemen and was an executive producer on their YouTube Red show. A lot of people were like, KSI, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a toy. Toys have utility to children. You are selling kids a toy, something that they might want and to play with. And this is a reasonable response to Dan's point, that is, how does this benefit their fans? If I am a fan of Dan and I get this little toy, I can play with this toy and I can add fun to my life. Theoretically, there is something here. So KSI hits back and says, but he was talking about food, JJ. I think if you're doing impressions of your detractors and making them seem like bumbling idiots, you have already lost the plot. He was sponsored, then promoted, and made a whole video on Munch Pack, a monthly sub box full of food and candy, to his Minecraft audience full of kids. Now what? A smart Stanz viewer might look at this and think, isn't there a difference between a sponsor and a company that is owned by a content creator? Isn't there a difference between something that's being made and marketed as healthier and something that is being made and marketed as like a fun candy treat? Isn't there a difference between something that happened, how many years ago? 8 years ago? 9 years ago on a third channel, and something that is not only happening on KSI's YouTube, but KSI's Twitter, on Mr. Beast's Twitter, something that is being heavily promoted and put in stores? I think there's a little bit of a difference, but I also, to give them a little bit of credit here, think that if anyone else in the world came out with Lunchly, if a beloved content creator, hell, I think if my good friend Ludwig came out with Lunchly, and the marketing was like, it's like a Lunchable, but it's got my face on it, I think people would be like, oh, that's kind of pog. It's a Ludwigable. I get it. It's like a Ludwigable. The cracker's got a hole in the middle or something. It's like his chest. Like this is a funny thing. The issue stems from these being content creators who have scammed in the past. When we talk about Logan Paul, who have talked about things like cryptocurrency and maybe starting one, or just done dumb shit in the past in KSI, or people who seem like maybe they are just a ruthless capitalist and trying to extract maximum value for their audience in Mr. Beast. The third one of those things, the Mr. Beast thing, technically not that bad. Like maybe you feel like there's a moral failing in there. Maybe you don't. I don't actually give a shit about this. Mr. Beast is just trying to start companies. Companies exist, and I have no problem with this. You know what I mean? If Mr. Beast was the only one that made a response, I don't think this would be as much of an issue. The fact is, we hate Logan Paul on the internet, the collective we, the royal we, and it's fun to make fun of KSI because he's going to punch back and whiff. People dunked on Pokimane for the cookies. Yeah, people hate women, right? Can we? Sorry, is this thing on? Can we understand the difference there? People just fucking hate women. No matter what she did, hey, the cookies were upsold. They raised the price on them, maybe a little bit too much. What are you going to do? Caught. That's very true. I feel with the Mr. Beast issue is that he hasn't said anything about the controversy before this. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing people have been talking about in the ether. We nipped in the bud the fact that, hey, this isn't Prime Energy and other things, but we should have mentioned earlier that a lot of people on the internet have been talking about they're launching Lunchly now. Are you kidding me? Launching Lunchly right when Dogpack has them on the ropes? Dog, you know how long it takes to like get these products in stores? You know how long it takes to like do all the marketing and do everything? He didn't save the announcement of a huge CPG for a moment when he is being attacked on the internet, especially when the third Dog Patch video actually was kind of shit. When it actually made claims that ended up not being true, and you can tell by the amount of views that people just don't really care about it. I'm not saying we shouldn't care about it. I think that there's a lot of things Mr. Beast has been accused of that he should be addressing, that people in Mr. Beast's company have been accused of and they should be addressing. But the thought that they are starting a company to bury the truth about it is honestly ridiculous. This is something they were going to do no matter what. And they were going to do it. Because guess what? These products are fucking successful, man. Prime sells a billion bottles. I'm a old man. I was going to say my actual age. I'm not addressing my actual age anymore, 29. I'm out there maybe buying the Banana Prime because it tastes pretty good, and they think that they can make some money. The final thing I think we need to discuss about this, outside of the fact that they have an x-ray machine to make sure that there's nothing in their products and there's metal detectors to make sure there's not trace amounts of lead. I guess that's a good thing, but when it's the only marketing on the official Lunchly channel, it's just a weird look for me. There's nothing for me to retweet to White Knight for Mr. Beast and Logan Paul. Besides this, the final thing we need to talk about is where creating products that are meant to be sold to children falls on our moral barometer as a community of people who watch videos, as a Stanz community, as we feel like the community at large should do. One thing I think that we are not talking about enough is that on a macro sense, and you know who talks about this a lot and is 100% right, I've always backed him? Slime. On a macro sense, our job as content creators, unfortunately, is not to create art. It's not to create good content. It's not to create something that stands the test of time. I wish it was that. I think the best of us do that. Our job is to sell Doritos to children, right? Our job is to get an Audible sponsor and sell audiobooks. Our job is to get an Adam and Eve sponsor so people buy the thing and shove it up their butt, right? We make money because YouTube sells advertisements on our videos. It's unfortunate. And a lot of times we can use the fact that we are being paid to do this to put messaging in our videos that we feel like is helpful. We can advocate for causes and beliefs that are nice for us. We can maybe make artistic content or content that we feel should be made, even if it wasn't sponsored. But at the end of the day, people cannot make content full time, the regular Joes, unless they are getting paid to do it. And the people they are getting paid to do it by are companies that advertise to men, women, children. And most of the time, it's people who are advertising to young men or children, teenagers. But you know what? Let's play devil's advocate for them for 1 second. I think that we should, and this is a retrospective I am having now because of the question that has been asked or the statement made in chat, the moral conundrum being the fact that larger creators who already have enough money, enough is a word that like we don't justify, larger creators that have a large amount of money, enough money where they could theoretically retire and live a comfortable life, are continuing to market products to children so that they can get more money. I just want to make sure that we keep that same energy for other companies and people. I think the one reason YouTubers like Mr. Beast are more frustrated is because we have Starbucks. We have McDonald's that sells Happy Meals, that puts toys in maybe the unhealthiest lunch for children that exists. I can't believe I used to beg my parents to take me to McDonald's to get a goddamn Pokemon toy, and I would eat a cheeseburger. I would eat fried chicken nuggets and french fries and get a soda. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's ridiculous. The thought that a kid's meal is better than a Lunchly is better than a Lunchable is crazy. We have to understand that we should protect kids. We should give them enough nutrition and calories and lunch. It probably should be chicken and broccoli, but sometimes it can be a little treat. I just want to make sure that we understand that we can hold everyone accountable and not just YouTubers. At a certain level, while there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, we can choose a level that is appropriate for us. And if we believe that selling Prime and Feastables in a product that I believe is very comparable to a Lunchable, if we believe that that is morally bad, then that's fine. Say what you want on the internet, boycott the product, call out content creators for making it. If you believe, and honestly, as sad as it is, this is probably where I stand, that it doesn't really matter and that this product is a similar health level to something that I don't think is being marketed as healthy, then we can say it's fine that Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI are making a Lunchable clone, that they are selling it. That some people are going to rail against it and not buy it, and that is great. And some kids are going to say, I really want the Mr. Beast Lunchable and not the regular Lunchable. We should take them to task for health claims they make about their products. We should accuse them of doing this as a shameless money grab because that's what it is. But we shouldn't make up lies that they're putting energy drinks in kids' foods. We shouldn't make up lies that there's lead in there or that they're doing these things. Because that's fucking ridiculous, man.